Today, Dana White was asked what the latest with Conor McGregor was and if he thought he would fight anytime soon and how many fights he has left, and Dana replied with, he's not fighting anytime soon. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but yeah, I don't know. This doesn't look too good for all the McGregor fans out there, which is probably most people who are fans of the sport, because as we know, when McGregor's fighting and he's in the sport, there's way more eyes on the UFC and MMA as a whole, which is what we want because we love to see the sport grow. Even though Conor posted on Twitter and Instagram saying, let's get the show started at UFC and at TKO, which he tends to do all the time, but then he doesn't actually follow through with the fighting part. We know he was lined up to fight against Michael Chandler in June of last year, but that fell through, and I think it might have left a bad taste in Dana and the UFC's mouth, making Dana not push too much for another Conor fight. We know Conor has at least one fight on his UFC contract left, and the UFC won't let him fight out of that contract without re-signing yet, so that creates a whole dilemma in itself. But also, Conor is incredibly wealthy and has more money than he knows what to do with, and we know that it's hard for rich people to get up and fight, besides Floyd Mayweather. So Dana saying that there's zero motion with the Conor McGregor fight and it's not in the works at all, and that they hadn't spoken in a long time is honestly pretty shitty for UFC fans. McGregor is 36 years old, so he's only got a couple of years left to fight, honestly, at least at a high-ish level. I'm sure he'll be able to get paid to fight long into his 40s and 50s, and that's probably when Jake Paul would want to fight him, because we know Jake loves to fight old, washed-up men. I do find it a bit weird, though, that McGregor called out to Dana and TKO to get the ball rolling for his next fight, and then a couple of days later, today, Dana comes out and says that he hasn't been talking to McGregor and that there isn't any news at all with his next fight. It's a pretty shitty situation, but overall, we've got to get the ball rolling soon if Conor wants to fight at a decent level ever again. He's got hundreds of millions of dollars, and that makes me think that I couldn't really blame him for not fighting again. But can we just take a moment to realize that Michael Chandler went from doing an entire season of tough with Conor and having build up to a pay-per-view fight with Conor to just getting dominated by Paddy Pimblett a few months ago? Talk about a turn of events, dude. Do you think Conor will fight at all in 2025 or even 2026 for that? Personally, I don't really think so. I think his time might be up in the UFC. We're 3 subscribers away from my goal of 10 subs, so subscribe if you want. See you later.